Why is it so hard to find a bloody job?
It is extremely hard to find a job right now.
I was laid off 3 times last year. It took me 7 months to find a job.
If you are a job seeker feeling exhausted like this person, stay here for 2 minutes.
What's up, Financial Hawks? So in today's video, we're going to be going over struggling to get a job TikToks. Definitely intrigued to see what these guys and gals are going to end up talking about. In this, I definitely know the struggle. So yeah, I'll be kind of just going over maybe some of my experience and tips to get out of this struggle to get a job, especially in cybersecurity and tech, which I believe these are more affiliated with, but I'm not exactly for sure. So let's go ahead and bring up the first video and let's see what she is going to talk about.
I've applied to about 150 jobs between October to now, and
Guys, people are really underestimating how hard the job search is in 2024. Hundreds of applications, hundreds of rejections, being ghosted by recruiters, getting to the final round, and then being rejected. The job search in 2024 is absolutely brutal.
Yeah, let me just replay that beginning.
I've applied to about 150 jobs between October to now, and
Guys, people are...
Yeah. People are very underestimating it. I'm not gonna say that's the majority of people who are actually in the grind right now. I think majority of them actually see it now. But yeah, the majority of people outside of that too, who may have been in their job already 3 or 4 or 5 years and not experiencing this craziness going on right now. Yeah, they're not seeing that. Yeah, you will see hundreds of rejection letters. It is what it is. I've seen that before. In my grind, in my 1,000+ jobs I applied to, rejection. You wake up, rejection. Before the weekend hits up, rejection. You think you're doing a good job too. I got a funny story about that one, but it's you think you nailed it. Everything's going good. You grinding. Everybody seem like they love you at the company. You're like, cool. You think you about to get this, and then they hit you up for a rejection letter, at freaking midnight on a Friday. Come on, man. And then come back to you, later on, wanting you again, for that position. It's bruh, but you give me an automated message, at nighttime on the midnight. It's crazy out here. It's crazy out here. So I definitely have full first-hand experience on that. It's definitely a grind out here, but don't give up if you're serious about this. So a lot of people are already kind of just giving up, and they haven't really really applied or consistently just been active on their their job grind or job journey. So yeah, kind of just give you a heads up on that. But yeah, I think what he talked about was pretty good. For the girl at the beginning, she said she applied to 150 jobs from October to now. I'm not exactly sure when that was released, so I don't know if that was a month, 2 months, 3 months, etc. But yeah, you're going to be applying to hundreds of jobs, if not thousands, depending on the field, your experience, etc. So yeah, just kind of just giving you a heads up. Yeah, is very real right now. So let's go ahead and bring up this one.
Because y'all are hiring. Okay, and how would your friends describe you in one word? Highly Black. I'm from the suburbs, so it's actually quite descriptive. And do you have the required 20 years job experience? Why would you make the minimum age 17 if you need 20 years of job experience? You just have to get 20 years in the field. Oh, okay. Do you think I'll get 20 years in the pen if I mop the floor with that ass? So unfortunately, we're not looking for a janitor at the moment.
I had to go ahead and put a intermission from the seriousness of the first one. I think that was too funny. You know what? Let's go ahead and just play that one more time, and then we're gonna be serious and get back on it. All right, but let's go ahead and play that. Let me make this smaller and play this one more time.
Why should we hire you? Because y'all are hiring. Okay, and how would your friends describe you in one word? Highly Black. I'm from the suburbs, so it's actually quite descriptive. And do you have the required 20 years job experience? Why would you make the minimum age 17 if you need 20 years of job experience? You just have to get 20 years in the field. Oh, okay. Do you think I'll get 20 years in the pen if I mop the floor with that ass? So unfortunately, we're not looking for a janitor at the moment.
That last part always killed me too. because he's like, "Hey, we're not looking for a janitor at the moment," and I'm like, she didn't know what she was talking about. The person who was supposed to be interviewing the other girl. So that was funny. But anyway, hope you guys laughed at that. Let's go ahead and put the next video up. And you know what? Actually, before we start,
Did I girl boss you?
before we start this, I had the wrong branding on here. Let's change that to red. Look at that. We're doing this on the fly. I'm loving this new software right here. Look at this. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. And like, this isn't even the end. Like, I'm going to change this whole background right here. I'm going to have it like some other videos I do, kind of like more reddish. It's going to be looking clean. So give me some time. Just give me some time. But anyway, let's go ahead and play the next video.
Too close to the sun and now not only have one, not two, but 3 part-time jobs. Well, I'm also a full-time musician, so I guess that's 4 jobs. But let me tell you how I got these jobs, because I was terrified a couple weeks ago for a while. I applied probably to 65 jobs and wasn't hearing anything back. I was like, holy shit, like, will I have to move? Will I have to start selling my stuff, my car, everything? Luckily, my friend Dame actually told me a hack. It's incredibly dystopian. Let me tell you about it, because after I started doing this, I started getting interviews left and right, and then look at me now. I guess because we actually live in dystopia in a Philip K. Dick novel, AI is causing a lot of us not to get jobs. Besides in the recession, AI is partially to blame. Plus, I guess a lot of employers are using AI to scan resumes before they even read them because of the influx of people applying. AI.
Yeah, the ATS systems. Yeah, they do use those to help out, because you may get like 1,000+ jobs. I mean, like resumes on a job at the first like couple hours. So yeah, it definitely helps streamline that.
Will scan the resume to see if it is a good fit for the job. The problem there is that AI will say you're not a good fit if it can't read the resume. If the formatting isn't AI friendly, which I'm sorry.
True, yeah. The formatting is definitely important. Again, I don't know if I already released my resume video on that, but definitely check that out on my channel. If I haven't released it yet, then yeah, you can go back and watch that.
I'm sorry. I'm a human. I'm sorry I don't know how to make a resume AI friendly. But with this hack, it's foolproof to be AI friendly.
Okay.
Step 1, go to the job description, whether it's on Indeed, LinkedIn, whatever. You are going to highlight the entire job description, and you are going to copy it, then paste it onto your resume.
Okay.
Then you're going to make that text super tiny and in white ink, so it's not visible to the human eye, but to AI, I guess, it still sees it there, and it reads every keyword that is there. So your resume looks like it's a great fit.
Okay.
This does mean you have to alter your resume for every job you apply to, which heavily sucks. But you know what sucks more? Panicking about not having a job. But that's what I've been doing. And after I started doing that, I started getting interviews. And on top of that, instead of just doing the quick apply on like Indeed, LinkedIn, whatever, I will do the quick apply, but then after that, I will go on Google and find the email of the company, whether it's an email directly for hiring, or it's a lot of times it's just like a hi at, like a general email. And I will email my resume and just be like, hi, I'm applying to the job. Introduce yourself briefly and be like, I'd love to apply. I attach my resume, blah, blah, blah. Like I said, I applied to like 65 jobs and wasn't hearing anything back. And I started doing this dystopian ass shit, and it worked.
Okay. I think she gave some pretty good, and funny commentary, but yeah, at least the like last part when she talked about after you apply or quick apply, like on LinkedIn, for example, then going to Google, trying to find like the direct post, maybe the hiring manager, and like, applying that way too, maybe sending them a message. I think that's always good. Or just again, going to the corporate site, finding that there and also applying there. I think that's, great right there. I've never done what she talked about with like copy and paste and everything from, LinkedIn or Indeed, and then having a super small and white so nobody can see it, but then the ATS systems are able to see it, or the machine. I've heard about that before. And when I first seen that video on it, I think he actually had really good results from that. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of up to you if you want to try that or not. Me personally, I like to just have a lot of the keywords in the like bottom of the resume of like different systems that I personally know there. But again, it's up to you. But I feel like at least my way probably a little bit easier. But hey, I mean, that didn't really seem that like too hard. It probably just more time consuming because you're doing this for each individual job. But I never tried it. Maybe you know what? Since I'm like currently working, maybe I can like make a video of me doing this and just seeing how fast I get one. How fast I get interviews or how fast I actually get a job. So I'm definitely intrigued to try that. That was very interesting. So let's go ahead and bring up the last video here and let's see what they're talking about.
If you're exclusively applying to jobs online, I have bad news for you. The more I post career content, the more I get comments from people like this one saying, I've applied to 500 jobs or I've been job searching for months and I'm not getting anywhere. If this sounds like you, here's a mistake you might be making. I know the job search probably feels like a numbers game. The more you put in, the more you're going to get out. Unfortunately, it's not. In 2023, 2% of job applicants get called in for an interview. 2%. I know this is insanely backwards. Like, there are so many channels to apply for jobs online. But unfortunately for us job seekers, online applications are just one channel of many that companies use to find candidates for their jobs. On the flip side, and according to Zippia, as of 2023, employee referrals account for 30 to 50% of all hires. If you continue to apply for jobs online, you should at minimum find a first or second degree connection at that company every time you apply and reach out to them to try and learn more about the company or the role to try and connect and find at least someone that can give you a referral. And ideally, you should also try and find the hiring manager every time you apply and reach out to them with a couple bullets saying why you're a good fit for that role and your resume.
Okay. Let me see if I can find one.
Get called in for an interview.
Okay. That was definitely interesting. She made some good points. I feel like even though I think it would be good if you could find like some referrals from people. I feel like that would just take you a lot more time. I feel like a lot of people just don't have that extra time or maybe the extra grind to do that. I've talked to a lot of different hiring people and different things of that nature on LinkedIn. And yeah, that's good. If you can find the person who made the post and then send them a message in your resume, I have had like a higher success rate of actually getting an interview, but it doesn't necessarily mean you'll get a job. I didn't get any of those jobs, but I was able to get like a first interview and then from there get that second and third interview. So yeah. I'd say probably that should be maybe more of your main focus. If you're trying to do more after applying to the job, then find the hiring manager. On LinkedIn, they usually have them like in the description or whatever of the actual job post, so that you're able to then message them there. Possibly, if you guys are interested, I can give you what I wrote to these hiring managers. That has gotten me a very high likelihood of them responding back. I'd say maybe about every 10 I would send, probably hear back from probably about at least like 4 to 5, so almost 50% or about 50% or so. So yeah, I can probably just give that to you guys and kind of just go over how I had it created. I use the AI system within LinkedIn, and then I kind of just changed it up a bit to kind of just make it seem like, I can't say I would make it seem like I was interested. It made it trying to think like the correct term or the correct word for this, but pretty much it was very concise, showed that I had interest in the job, some of my abilities that I felt would fit with the job in like 3 or 4 sentences. So it was very concise, it looked good, bam, resume there. And a lot of times they would click on it and respond back to me. And yeah, sometimes too on that you may find new things like, hey, maybe they are looking for somebody with a specific thing. Like I have had that a couple times too, like, hey, do you know this software? And like they're like specifically looking for somebody who has years in that experience, or years experience in that specific software. Usually that's not the case when applying to jobs. You don't need to know everything on the job description, but sometimes they actually may be looking for something very, very specific, and that's a good way to knock that out if you're bored, or your checklist of jobs that you're applying for. But overall, I would probably make it maybe more focus on that versus spending the time trying to look for different people and then trying to message 4, 5, 6 of them and then waiting for them to respond back. I mean, you can do it. I'm not going to say like it's going to necessarily hurt you, but I feel like for a lot of people, time wise, it will, versus just going to the hiring manager, or at least going to the hiring manager first and then maybe doing that, maybe secondary or whatnot. But anyway, guys, definitely want to hear you guys' thoughts on this. Are you currently in the job market right now? Trying to grind? Probably are, because since you're watching this video. Definitely want to hear some of your tips that you have done that has helped you out. For me, it's just kind of being consistent. Over 1,000 jobs. I'm going to get a lot of rejection letters. Got a ton. But you just can't let that kind of just stop you. You got to just be able to just consistently grind, consistently, every day applying to 10, 20, 30 jobs. I see a lot of people who are like, they may say like 5 or 10 at heart, but then like there's just like they're tweeting and doing other stuff all day. It's like, and then they also don't have a job. Like if you don't have a job on top of that, it's like, come on, man. Like, what's your excuse? Like, come on. Like, I'm just not a person who just make excuses all the time on that. Just consistently trying to get better. If your resume not doing good, like what I do, maybe after like 100 or so jobs I apply to, maybe change up my resume and just make it better, or trying to find new ways to like upskill myself and put that on my resume. And then, maybe make more YouTube videos talking about XYZ. That's kind of what I did with my current role. Like when I learned something new in cyber, make a YouTube video, me talking about it and explaining it, because it allows me to get better at that skill. And the other company that I possibly may get into, they're able to see my thought process and see how I grind or see how I work certain things. And increasing your LinkedIn page and your GitHub. It's like there's so many different things. It gets depending on what type of field you're trying to apply to too. You may want to focus on GitHub, or maybe LinkedIn more, or maybe this or this more. But anyways, I think these were pretty good videos. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Definitely hear you guys' thoughts in the comments on this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.